Well, a priest in Georgia is bracing to be kicked out of the church, to be excommunicated. The Vatican has put him on notice. He's just waiting for official word, really, right now. The reason? He supports the ordination of women priests. In our Faces of Faith this morning, we're peeling back the debate on this emotional topic. And with me now in studio, Father Roy Bourgeois. He supports the move, as I just mentioned. And also joining us this morning from Washington, the Pope. Monsignor Charles Pope with us this morning. Good morning. Thank you both, gentlemen, for being here. I'll start with you, Father Bourgeois. You got notice a while back. They gave you 30 days, essentially, saying you'd be excommunicated. What's the status there? Has it happened officially yet?
No, it hasn't. The core of the issue is this. I do believe that our God calls women as well as men to be the priesthood. I've been a priest for 36 years. I have met many devout Catholic women who, like me, feel called to the priesthood. When I was a young man in the military 36 years ago, I felt God was calling me. God is the source of all life. God has created men and women of equal stature and dignity. And I believe, as many Catholics and many clergy, that women as well as men are called to the priesthood. That invitation comes from God. Who are we as men to say that our call is valid, but the call of women is invalid?
Well, Monsignor Pope, let me, you help us here. And a lot of people are familiar, at least, with the church, with doctrine that says that women should not. It's the official stance of the church. Women should not be ordained priests. But take it a little further if you can. I know you can't give me the whole history here so quickly, but still, the logic and the basis for it. Why should women not be allowed to serve?
Well, recent popes, including Paul VI and John Paul II, have both stated that the church has no authority whatsoever to confer priestly ordination on women. And the reason is rooted in the church's understanding of the foundation of the priesthood, which was the call of the apostles, and that Jesus called 12 men. Although he broke many conventions of his time, in regards to the treatment of women, he did not summon women to be apostles. And therefore, what people are asking the church to do is something the church has no authority to do. We can't just start ripping pages out of Scripture or saying, well, if Jesus had talked to us moderns, he would have done it differently, so we're going to update the things.
No, go ahead.
This is about the call about choosing men. The core of our faith in the Catholic tradition is the resurrection. As Christians, Jesus appeared first to women after the crucifixion to announce his resurrection to Mary Magdalene and other women to bring. They were chosen. Jesus chose women to go to the men who were in hiding behind locked doors to bring the message of the resurrection. So when we talk about being chosen, we also must include women.
Now, Monsignor, what about that? Monsignor Pope, what about that point? And also, is it possible, I mean, I'm sure over time things have changed in the church from tradition, so is it possible the church is wrong and maybe we will see a change eventually?
No, we're not going to see a change. Pope John Paul is very clear that this position of the church regarding the call of the apostles as being the origin of the sacrament of holy orders is a definitive teaching that is to be definitively held by all the faithful. It will not change. This is not something which has ever changed in the church. Cultures have come and gone, times have come and gone, but the church has remained very consistent, and not just the Roman Catholic Church, but all the Eastern Orthodox and Eastern Rite churches as well. This is a very consistent teaching.
Well, Father Bourgeois, let me ask you this, though.
Sure.
I mean, yes, you could have this opinion, and why not go and fight and push for it behind the scenes and not come out officially against the church? Do you have to do this publicly and still...
My conscience, my God is compelling me.
But can't you...
Let me say this. At the very core of this issue is sexism. And sexism, like racism, is a sin. No matter how hard our patriarchy, we as men, try to justify discrimination, in the end, it is always wrong. The Catholic Church today is going through a serious crisis. I just came back from New Orleans. 32 churches are closing in New Orleans. Wherever I travel, Catholic churches are closing because of a priest shortage. We have hundreds of women who are saying God is calling them to be priests. Why not allow women like men to be priests? Also, very important is this issue of the sexual abuse scandal that it hurts me to bring this up. However, if we had women priests, there would never have been those years of silence while thousands of clergy abuse thousands of children.
Well, Monsignor Pope, I'm going to give you the last word to address a couple of those issues. Is it fair to look at it almost as a social issue, as an issue of sexism, as he just brought up, or is this something that is separate and you can't really put it in that same vacuum as a social issue, as an issue of sexism?
Well, no, the church has always had great respect for women. There are women in leadership roles all throughout the church. Our chancellor is a woman in this diocese. I have many women leaders in my parish. But what the Father is asking the church to do is something that we cannot do. This is something that we received from Jesus Christ. Now, I want to also respond, TJ, to the point you made, which was that the Father has a right to his conscience, but he does not, as a priest, have a right to draw the faithful and to attend simulated ordinations and confuse the faithful. His role as a priest is to speak that which befits the doctrine of the church. He should speak privately to his spiritual director, to his superiors, but he should not involve the faithful in his own struggle of conscience or make accusations of the church of race. Sexism.
I'm going to have to. I know you.
This is very important. For more information, our viewers should go to womensordination.org and ncronline.org for more information. I said this on Vatican Radio, and I will say it on CNN. There will never be justice in the Catholic Church until women are ordained.
Well, I am going to have to leave it there. Gentlemen, this is a debate that will continue. I am glad, so glad both of you could be here. Again, Father Roy Bourgeois and also Monsignor Pope there in Washington. Really, I wish we had more time. We could talk about this all morning. But, gentlemen, thank you both so much for the conversation.
Thank
Betty.
you.
Fascinating debate there. I do appreciate that. In the meantime, though, let's talk about this.